Yes.
Alright, enough with the drain.
Sorry, we're back on that last episode where I was, stirring tea. But yes, welcome back.
Stirring the tea.
Welcome back to another episode of Sound and Enjoyment, possibly, and also annoyance at the sound of my voice. We are Controllers and Couches. And in case people haven't realised, I'm FullMetalChicken.
And I'm Steph, and hello everyone, and welcome back to episode number 64.
64. 6 minus 2 is 4. Conspiracy, maybe? Most likely not. No. And on that note...
Call that logic, sweetie.
Yeah, logic, which I have very little of.
Oof.
So, yeah. So what's new in the zoo?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Ailments.
So just a normal day.
Just a normal day in my household, yeah. Let's see, what have I done? Nothing. I have been playing the usual Call of Duty.
Poopy?
Call of Poopy. It's been shit. But looking at media releases and everything at the moment, it's just become a joke. It's literally, you got people hiding in the ground, you got people hiding in fucking buildings.
Well, we've got less than 10 hours?
Yeah.
Until the new one pops. So I'm excited.
Essentially it's a case of I've got to try and get to 155 before
It ain't going to happen, but good luck. Because the thing is, you don't want to be stuck getting to level 155 on Modern Warfare when you need to start pushing on Cold War. Because you'll be 2 weeks behind what everyone else has already done.
Yeah, so essentially I've got 12 days left, or 11 days left.
No, you don't, because tonight Cold War comes out.
Yeah, but I've still got to get to 155.
You can't do that anymore. You've got 10 hours left, and then you take a small break, and then you shift over to Cold War.
I got to hit 155.
No, because then you're going to complain that you're not level 155.
No, I got to
like
finish
everyone
155.
else.
It's got to be done.
Anyway, hi everyone. Welcome back. The first topic on the agenda today is the update on the Second Great Bird War.
Fucking stupid.
So when we left you off the last time, we actually couldn't record because we were inspecting what they were doing, because it turns out the bird wasn't on our property at all.
No.
In fact, it was on the other side of the road.
Yeah, and in someone else's house.
Wow, almost like we told them.
Yeah, this guy did not even fucking listen to me.
So in a torrential downpour followed by a sudden thunderstorm, these guys are running across the street with their nets and stuff, but at least they had the audacity this time to actually ask the next door neighbours.
And the the neighbour across from us was all like out in the street clapping his hands, all happy like. I'm like, yeah, great.
That must have been a nice experience for him. We didn't get that.
No, we didn't get that.
We got threats.
I just got a threat. So, yeah, back to rule number 1. Don't go in someone's backyard without permission. Because some people are nice, like me, but they get to a point where they will literally just call the cops on you.
Dude, we looked for that bird as if it was our own bird.
Yeah.
I have no issue with the guy. If he had jumped in the backyard once and was like, look, I'm so sorry, my bird is literally right there, I would have been like, I'm staying here, I ain't going to scare it. Just go do what you got to do. Do not come into our backyard, start rifling through our shit, and think...
If I tell you... or someone tells you to get the fuck out of their backyard, politely, multiple times, if the hint hasn't dropped then, but then when you go around their place and you tell them to stay the fuck out of the...
You said it very nicely.
I said it very, very politely, but long story short, stay the fuck out of my backyard or I'll call the fucking cops.
Anyway, we upped our security. We've got twice as many cameras pointing out as we did before.
It's fucking Fort Knox.
So, literally...
Without the gold.
I don't know what to tell you.
Fucking dumb people.
Basically, if a tree farts outside, we will know about it.
We'll literally know when it leaves.
We got emotion alerts at 2 a.m. this morning from one window because a snail was walking up the... What do they call the... It's not the ledge of the brick wall. It's like
windowsill.
It's not the windowsill. The windowsill's inside the house. The outside brick wall around the window. There was a snail crawling up it because of the rain. I don't know. I'm not an engineer.
Neither am I. I can't even make toast.
It's a slight exaggeration.
I can't make toast, but I don't burn the fuck out of it.
Regardless being, if a tree farts out there,
we're going to
know about it. But it is what it is. I'm glad they got their bird back. It's
time.
all to say I'm glad they got their bird back. But also, how much they wasted a whole 24 hours hyperfixating
on
our house when the animal wasn't here at all. And that's all we wanted to tell them. Your bird is not here. So I was going to trim those plants down since we last recorded, but between weather being extremely thunderstormy and then extremely hot, I'm going to do it this weekend.
And see, it's probably good not to push them all the way back because they do protect the plants that are on the side there. So
no, they have to go down, and I have to clear them out.
They go down, but there's ones at the side, like there's some figs, like a fig plant.
I'm not talking about there.
No.
Like I'm talking about there.
Yeah, some kind of fig plant thing.
It's got to be trimmed down because his issue, what he was lying about, was saying that the bird was in there, but the bird wasn't in there. But it is what it is. How's your Nanowrimo going, PS?
I haven't written anything. I have been video editing though.
I have written 39,570 words. So I'm 71.14% of the way through.
Ooh.
Hopefully it'll be done in a couple of days. And then that'll be that. Because Cold War!
Cold War. All the Cold War.
If there's another update today, I have to check because I'm paranoid. And I don't understand because I got a 25 gig update and you didn't get a 25 gig update. So I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what... But I recommend we just check it periodically throughout the day to make sure that there isn't one there.
Yeah.
But next thing, new consoles.
Yeah. They
Beauty.
look pretty cool. I'm interested to see how the PS5 goes because there's a digital edition which...
Oh, you haven't heard the tea today? Everyone was selling them, and people went in today to pick up their consoles from EB, from JB, everywhere, and they didn't have them.
Pardon?
So people were rocking up to pick up their pre-orders that they had already paid for, and there weren't enough.
That's not good. For the PS5s.
Yes.
Fuck. So they're raging now?
Yeah, well, like friends of mine that are fellow TikTokers and people like I've connected with online were tweeting this morning saying, oh, hey, how did you go yesterday? And then I just PM them or DM them, whatever it is, on Twitter, and I was like, had no issues. Went in there, like we went in like 10:30, I think it was 11:30, 12, something like that, because we were one of the first wave of crazies to go.
Yeah.
And I said our stuff was in bags on the floor. They were all stacked.
Now, talking about stuff in bags on the floor, I was out yesterday just picking up some random stuff from,
the supermarket, as you do when you've got floofs to feed.
And JB, and I saw a customer who made some purchases.
Because I needed you to get extension cables for the cams and some SD cards.
And the guy dropped. He was putting it into the back of the cabin, and he dropped the holding two bags, and one of them dropped out of his hand. Sure enough, it was the monitor, and we're talking probably it looked like it was a 30-inch monitor, and the sound it made, and the guy just looked at me and then put his hands on his head, and I'm just like, yeah, that'd do it. But it was a horrible sound. Like, you could hear the sound of the screen
crunch.
Like cracking. It was like, wonderful sound.
No, not a wonderful sound. Poor guy. And the thing is, it's not like warranty.
No.
Covers that.
It's like
it's a write-off. You just have to get another one.
It's like it's just fucked.
Poor guy.
But I'm amazed there hasn't been more media investment in the whole issue. You'd think the amount of
media
demand
investment
for it,
in what issue?
The whole PS5, Series X, just.
But there has been.
They are.
You're just not looking on the apps.
But how do they run out? How do they run out of these things?
Because they didn't, with COVID, the production was down because remember where is everything made? China was down. They couldn't assemble anything.
It was just funny. So.
That's not to say it's happening to everyone, but people are getting it and whatnot. People are posting about it. So good on them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not really there isn't anything, unless the people who made Infamous Second Son announced an a PS5 exclusive sequel or new game. That's the only time I'd consider myself at this stage getting a PS5, but I don't need it right now. I'm more than fine. How easy was it to set up the Xbox? It was beautiful.
Simple.
It was brilliant. And then, funny story, I thought I'd be, oh my god, I'm going to put it on the TikTok so I have something to remember this moment by. Because it's going to be my entertainment system for 8 years.
I was like, oh
and
yeah,
then,
I'm done.
And then I shared it, and some fucking idiot is like, vomit emoji, batteries though, didn't even spell batteries properly. And then I just started a war. And I haven't heard from him since.
Nothing.
And so I went through his his TikToks, and he's like nothing against him, but he's a RGB tattoo fanboy. So what he likes to do is hold something, because he's such a man, such sex appeal. So he'll grasp onto something, and he holds whatever the item is under the RGB lights, and as they flash different colours, different sections of his tattoo light up, because he's so cool.
Wow.
And he's so edgy. And then so I'm going through like his 10 different videos, and then my brain sees his PS4 controllers, and they weren't wired.
Yeah.
So I took a snapshot of that, and I put that in my response, and I was like, batteries though. Oh. And then some idiot was like, oh, but PS4 controllers don't have batteries. And I'm like, incorrect. It's just that unlike the Xbox controller, you don't have the option of removing them. You still charge the battery up. You still charge the controller. It's just that you can't pop the battery out like you can in an Xbox controller. And so that idiot got butthurt and he deleted his comment.
That's funny.
That's the only response I've had so far. Felt good about it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's that. Oh, you have a quiz ready for us.
Yeah,
Wow. I'm scrolling down and there's something in that section of the notes and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't put that there.
So, yeah.
Lead it. Take us away.
So, what I was thinking was, this isn't a BuzzFeed one. This is more a...
Geek and Sundry.
Yeah, it's Geek and Sundry. What kind of gamer are you?
Alright, where do we take this test?
So, what you do is, from what I can see...
So I've clicked the link you sent me.
Yep, so then you go down to Gamer Motivation Profile.
Alright, that's the link I'll put in the description for everyone.
So what it will do is generate a customized profile / chart of how we rank.
Dude, it wants me to
categories.
Make an account?
No, you don't have to make an account.
Just hit
you can do it at the end.
Take a survey.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is...
excuse me. Why is it asking me what gender I am first question?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I have no idea. So, essentially, we won't... Well, obviously they can tell which one we are by the sounds of it.
Well, for your information, I could be non-binary.
Exactly. So, I don't know. So,
All
skip that one.
No, you can't skip it. You just have to say what you are.
So, select one.
But I'm just saying to you, there are more than female, male, and other.
Yes, there is. Yes, there are.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm not putting the... So, obviously, then it comes through, how old are you? I'm not going to say that.
Or you put a false... They're not asking you for your name.
Yeah.
How old am I? I don't know.
And then it says...
All right, I remember what it is now.
In a typical week, about how many days do you spend at least 30 minutes playing a video game? Well, we have 0 to 1 day, 2 to 3 days, 4 to 5 days, 6 to 7 days. 6 to 7 days.
Okay. Realistically, for me, right now, 2 to 3.
See, me?
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, me, 6 to 7.
All right, but in 12 hours, it's going to be 6 to 7. So what do I do? Do I just smack bang in the middle, go 4, 5?
No, 6, 7, because you're on your phone as well.
I'm not playing video games on my phone.
6 to 7, trust me.
I'm going
on an
smack bang in the middle, 4 to 5.
But on an average, as soon as COD comes out, it'll be 7 days a week.
Do you want to know what song came in my head? No. You don't. All right. I'm going 4 to 5.
Okay, so would you consider yourself to be a casual gamer, i.e. you dabble in games but in short sessions or infrequently? Core, mid-core gamer, you regularly play video games but are not super serious or competitive. Hardcore gamer, you have high-end equipment and play seriously or competitively. Hardcore.
Shit.
Yeah.
Rate me. I think I'm...
Hardcore.
Am I? I do have some of the equipment though.
Yeah, hardcore. Okay, so which of these platforms do you usually play games on? Check all that apply. Console, so Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, dock with
Anything
TV.
that docks with the TV.
So console, PC, Mac,
Yes.
Smartphone, tablet, handheld
Occasionally
console.
with a smartphone or tablet. Handheld console,
Game
anything
Boy.
undocked. I don't play that now.
Yeah,
Or VR, no.
we don't have VR.
So I'm just going to go console, PC, Mac and smartphone.
Okay. What are some recent games released in the past few years?
This doesn't sound like a real...
This is weird. Okay, so...
I'm going to keep going, but...
This is searching... Oh, the catalogue.
Oh, dude, you have to... How shit is this? You've got to put in Modern Warfare, then it's got to be Warzone, and then Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
Oh, yeah.
2019.
You put in Call
and then I have to put Cold War, right? But
Yeah.
then I've also been playing Apex Legends with a friend who I don't know if I'm allowed to say their name online.
Yeah.
I have to say Cold War.
So, Modern Warfare.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Sweet. Okay, next. Are you currently playing any web, mobile, tablet games? I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, this is like Clash of Clans, isn't it? Alright, here's what I gotta put. Gardenscapes. My mother's listening to this like, what? Gardenscapes. Then...
I put Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans.
Glons of Glory. And Plants vs. Zombies.
I'm gonna get Gardenscapes, Clash of Clans, and then the only other one... Oh, Sudoku.
It's just...
Dude, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, this is weird.
It's just called Sudoku S2. Sudoku Party. Oh, just gonna put in Sudoku 2011. It is what it is.
And are there any other games you have enjoyed playing recently?
Fuck. I played Apex.
Let's see.
Our Xbox history will tell me.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
It is.
Oh, last night I played Five Nights at Freddy's because it's on the Game Pass.
Put in Dark Souls. Obviously, I still play The Witcher. That's always fun. And what's the other one? Bloodborne. Such a good game.
Oh, and Dead by Daylight. God, all this work and I'm only...
Yeah.
For the next section, how important are the following games and activities to you when you play? Getting to know all the main characters and their backstories.
Extremely important.
When was the last time you played an RPG game?
Bloodborne.
Okay, alright, so for me, I've been playing a lot of shooters. If it was Skyrim, I'd say extremely important. Accumulating large amounts of in-game resources currency, extremely important.
Yeah.
Pretending that I'm someone somewhere else, no, I don't do it for that. I'm not like into immersive where I see myself as a person. So I'm going to go not at all important.
Sugar. Acquiring powerful weapons and artifacts, not at all. Yeah,
for me it's yes, but
extremely important. Then we got having many customization, colors, styles, skins, and options.
I've got that one right now.
Extremely important.
Really? Do you care for customization that much?
Yeah, it is like a massive. That's like, for instance, as soon as they started bringing customization, I think the customization part stems out because I used to play a lot of Warhammer and 40k.
I'm going to go slightly important. Actually, and options. To me, it's not important. It's between slightly and not. So I'm just going to go slightly.
I mean, you've seen me rage over a...
Yeah, I know. But you're also a collector.
Yeah.
So you think you have to have every single one.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Which is funny because the next one I got, making an effort to get every collectible item in the game. Extremely important.
Me, completionist.
Yeah.
I just got the acquiring powerful weapons and artifacts. For that, I have to say extremely important. Playing the game at the highest difficulty level. I will do it occasionally for achievements, but otherwise I don't care. So I'm just going to go slightly important. Like, it irks me that I sometimes don't get that achievement.
Yeah.
But I can live. And
then there's taking the time to practice and master a game. Yeah, we need to be the best.
Well, it's not about me, it's about you.
It's about me, yeah. I need to crush, destroy.
My question was an elaborate storyline. And I'm going to say is extremely important.
Okay, accumulating, large amounts of in-game because with
that's how you got to win. That's what you got to do, dude.
Yeah, you got to do that.
That's how you win in plunder. We plunder party every day. Complete all possible missions and achievements in a game, to me, is extremely important.
And then getting every star possible trophy unlock in a game. Yeah, it's bloody hard, but, that's the goal.
Taking on difficult challenges that may take too many tries to succeed, extremely important. Have you seen me go for those Call of Duty season ribbons?
An elaborate storyline. Mass Effect, for instance. However, the last one just killed it completely. Ending shit. Not what we signed up for at the beginning. So,
okay.
And then playing the game at the highest difficulty level, extremely important. Doom. Doom. I
haven't played Doom.
Oh, it's...
The soundtrack is very loud, and I feel like it would blow my ears.
See, I probably should have... Going through all the ones, I probably should have put Doom in as well. Didn't give me the option, damn it. Okay, discovering offbeat or unconventional ways to play the game. Extremely important. Game breaking.
Alright, you go through yours, and then I'll go through mine, so speed up.
Okay. And then I've got dominating other players. Extremely important. Yes, that's what we need. Becoming as powerful as possible. Yes, that is important too. And then for the next session, how much do you enjoy the following game elements and activities? Gameplay that requires careful decision making. Enjoy a great deal. Look at Zelda. Look at Final Fantasy. Competing with other players. Enjoy a great deal. Except when they're fucking modding.
Which is every...
Gameplay that is fast-paced and intense. Yes. Enjoy a great deal. Yes. Yep. Being an agent of chaos and destruction. Yes. I C4 the chopper. Yeah. I always C4 the chopper. Enjoy a great deal. Yes. Blowing things up. Well, enjoy a great deal. But there's no other options. That's the highest it goes. It should be always. Like I said, blowing up the fucking chopper.
All right, just answer the questions. We don't need to hear a spiel.
Gameplay that requires quick
reason.
reaction times. Yep, enjoy a great deal. In gameplay that requires a lot of thinking and planning. Enjoy a great deal. Okay, working towards a common goal with other players.
Yes, plunder. You need money.
Yep. Taking on the role of another character person. Yep, that's fun. Yep. Enjoy a great deal. Grouping with other players. Enjoy a great deal. Gameplay with lots of blood and gore. Yep. Well, that's why we play COD. Helping other players. Yes, like I said, C4ing the chopper. Going up against other players in duels or matches. Yes, enjoy a great deal. Like I said, C4 the chopper. Gameplay with constant action and excitement. Like blowing up the chopper. Being immersed in another world place. Yes. Gameplay that requires long-term planning and strategy. Yes, even though I'm dumb. And enjoy blowing up. Using guns and explosives. Like I said, blowing up the chopper. For the next session, how often do you do the following things when you play video games? Try out many different things to test what the game world lets me do, always. You've got to break it as much as you possibly can. Put considerable time into customizing many characters, cities, spaceships, always. Yeah, I could spend, what is this, EVE Online? Primarily focused on increasing your stats level, always. Explore the game world just for the sake of exploring it, always. Yep, you can play Skyrim and fucking go nuts. Put a lot of thought and effort into the character creation process. Mass Effect, always. Yep. Experimenting with objects in the world just to see what happens. Portal. Study other players to improve my own gameplay, always. Yep. Watch Iron, see how shit I am. Want to help game companies make new games? Email? No. Pass. Skip and see my profile. Yay! Let's see what I get. Wow. Okay. My Quantic gamer type
take a screenshot of it or save it.
Yeah. So my Quantic gamer type is Gladiator. Gamer type motto, dedicated hardcore gaming. So I'm a primarily dominant player. Gladiators are competitive gamers who are more likely to identify as hardcore, and they want games to engage them using a broad spectrum of features. They are looking for an epic skill-based experience in the games they play. Well, there you go.
I'm 70% through. It doesn't give you any other information?
Down the bottom, it says my gamer motivation profile. So your profile consists of your percentage
that's all
rank
it's giving you.
across a broad range of gaming motivations. Your scores are based on how strong motivations are relative to other games. In this customized report, we will explain how to interpret these scores and what motivations we measured. So I've got achievement 99, mastery 98, social 98, action 99, immersion 93, creativity 95. And then secondary motivations, excitement, destruction 97, competition, community 97, 95, challenge 98, strategy 94, completion 98, power 95, discovery 92, design 90, fantasy 92, story 89. So yeah, everything above 90 for me. Yeah. And then there's further stuff down the bottom, which just explains.
Oh, I need my email address. Or can I skip?
Skip it. That's all I do.
Computing your profile. Oof. Alright, so if I wanted to save this, how would I do that?
Save page as or screenshot.
Save as PDF.
There you go, done.
What have we got here? I'm a gladiator. My motto is dedicated hardcore gaming.
There you go.
Did you define what a gladiator is?
Yes.
Okay. So apparently there are 9 Quantic gamer types. We just happen to be the same. My excitement and destruction are 97%. My competition is 97. My community is 91. My challenge is 80. My strategy is 65. My completion is 98. My power is 95. My discovery is 71. My design is 41. My fantasy is 37. And my story is 89.
Ooh.
Alrighty, that's pretty cool.
And then it's just
It
got...
is what it is.
There's a bard playing a part in a grand story.
It was interesting. I just don't feel like it's... For the questions they ask you... See, the fielding questions they ask were at the beginning. What gender are you? What age are you? So that if you signed up for their stupid people that they'd sell your data to, they'd have a field on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a legitimate...
Doesn't feel like it, no.
I just feel like we wasted 10 minutes of our lives.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone.
No, it's interesting, and regardless, just don't sign up for anything.
Yeah.
Don't give him your email.
No. So something a little bit different to our normal little...
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
We'll find another one for next week to see if
Yeah.
that one differs, because we've got the results for this week's one.
Yeah.
Because I could tell straight away those first 2 questions they asked us
Are pretty...
weren't... It's for the surveys that they want to sell your email
Yeah, that's
and
all it is.
information to.
And essentially what they did at the beginning...
So that way you don't get sick of the quiz.
No. And also, too, it's essentially, if they were doing a statistical analysis, they put it in 3. Male, female, other. There you go.
No, it's not for that. They're not doing a statistical analysis. They're trying to find out as much about you, so that way some people will think, oh, I have to sign up to make an account, right? So you'll sign up to make an account.
And then spam.
They will have your email address from that and your name. And then you told them your age. You've told them what gender you are. And then the people that they sell your data to, for the surveyors, will then target you based on your age and your gender, because they'll give you more targeted surveys. That's what it is. All right, let's do a quick news, because this week's episode is going to be a bit longer than normal. Trump is headed for the dump.
Yeah, big time.
Except he's not doing, Trumpy things. He's tweeting. He's rage tweeting.
And he's going completely mental. He is off the motherfucking chain. So, seeing how it's all panning out, and the fact that the Trump administration is still not acknowledging...
Well, they're saying that he's going to transition into a second term.
Transition into a second term? So, I'm going to be saying the fact that Trump will be forcibly removed from the White House. President-elect Joe Biden has been, voted by the people, for the people, to be, President of the United States. So, how in their constitution would Trump be able to even transition into a second
He can't.
term?
He hasn't been elected. I was listening to CNN this morning, and I just subbed to them on YouTube because obviously we don't have Foxtel, so I'm not gonna watch them live or whatever the alternative is. But they're just saying that his lawsuits are getting dismissed.
Yep, because there's no grounds for them.
Yeah, so people are tossing that shit out. He was spotted the first time today because today is Veterans Day.
Yep.
Besides golfing the day he lost. And so he's just living his life. Apparently he and his family are going to barricade in the White House and do what it is they're going to do. But it's not his house, it's the people's house.
Yes. Pretty much.
He doesn't own it.
And also, Joe Biden's dogs are better than his.
He doesn't have dog. You're calling his daughter... Oh, shit, did you just call his son a bitch?
Yep.
What's his name? DTJ. That
JT.
was some tea.
Yeah.
That was some... who knew?
See what I did there.
Anyway, so that's that. Apparently, though, he's got a fuck ton of lawsuits that are going to be served on him once the presidential immunity has been written off.
Oh, he is going to prison. He will go bankrupt. He will literally go bankrupt.
He doesn't have any money. He doesn't have money to lose.
$420 million in debt.
The only money he ever had was what his father gave him and bought him out.
He is literally going to crash and burn.
I don't know, dude. All I'm saying is I can see him... Say he eventually accepts the fact that Biden is being brought in 2 months' time, right? What's to stop him running again in 4 years? What's to stop him trying to go for a senatorship?
Imagine that.
And then, another 4 years push through.
Imagine him getting in round 2. Far
No, that's
out.
what I'm saying to you. Watch him run again.
Because he wants it back. Because he's a narcissist. He doesn't want to...
He just wants to prove Barack wrong.
Yeah, which is stupid.
Maybe it is what it is.
No. Trump can't compete with Obama. Obama's on another level.
No, of course. I'm not saying that everything President Obama did was right, but compared to Trump, come on.
Basically, Trump is like taking the bins out. That's it. Obama's
Trump's the shit in the bin that's been sitting at the base of the bin for 3 months and never gets emptied properly. As Anderson Cooper said, he's what did he say? An obese turtle.
Lying on its
flaying
back,
on its back
in
in the sun, hot sun.
Yeah. An orange turtle.
Poor turtles. Moving on from that... I found this story the other day and I thought it was pretty cool. Apparently did you hear that? Quick side note, YouTube's down today.
Really?
Apparently so, around the world.
Wow. I wonder what happened.
Someone's just... Could you imagine?
Oops.
Could you imagine? So according to news.com, who's reposting the story from, I think, the Herald Sun, a Melbourne man was charged with preparing for foreign interference, and he's the first person in Australia to be charged with foreign interference since new national security legislation was passed. So if he's convicted, he will be in prison for 10 years.
What a doofus.
He's 65 years old.
Wow.
And he had an alleged relationship with a foreign intelligence agency.
Oh. Espionage and foreign interference. the National Security Legislation Amendment Bill in 2018. The CFI task force has taken preventative action to disrupt this individual at an early stage. Wow. Disgruntled much?
Much? Dude, come on.
Fuck. Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, like, I was reading this article, and you know how we say it all the time, like, we specifically more so talk about it, like when we were talking about Five Eyes, and we were like, oh my god, there's actually a lot of shit that people don't realise happens on Facebook.
Yeah.
And they're so stupid that they do it on services like Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And people do not realise how much crime and terrorism, like even if it's just plotting, that still falls under crime. Like it's a terrorist
threat.
Yeah, actually occurs through
and everything's
sites
tracked.
like Facebook and shit.
Everything's tracked.
And it's just like, and they also make groups and pages like that are public. Like you can see the name of like it's a closed group or it's a whatever, but you can still see that the group exists. I can't even remember the term. Honestly, it's just getting to the point where
social media has become a whole new animal.
Do you know, last week alone, I had 15 people try to link to my LinkedIn who wanted me to add them to my network. I've never heard, seen, spoken to these people before in my life.
But why?
People were contacting me saying, hey, we work for an antibody development company and we would like to talk to you about your research. And I was like, you're not a legitimate company. If it was legitimate, the company that you work for would be contacting me, not you.
Yeah.
And you have no, like on their profile, because you can have a look, their profile has no link to this company. So that's how you know that it's bullshit. But anyway, it's getting to the point now where the only reason why I keep Facebook is because our friends tag me and shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, because you can close Facebook down and still use Facebook Messenger, can't you?
I don't know. I think they're one and the same.
I feel like I used to be able to have Facebook Messenger without having Facebook.
But now it's a case of with Facebook, after, they got busted selling off user data.
I don't put anything on there to require data. That's the thing. I haven't posted on there I honestly couldn't even tell you how long.
I mean, if anything, I'll post like a picture of a sandwich, from Team Fortress or something. But it's just, Facebook is a funny thing where you can actually profile anyone. But there are certain few individuals out there who go against the algorithm and just do dumb shit just to mess with that.
The last time I shared something was when Bernie's puppy ran away, and I shared it.
That's it.
Because she asked me to do that. And then I reshared the Happy International Day of Women and Girls because I was in the photo and they tagged me in it.
So it's just more a case of...
And then fire safety stuff. And that's it. I don't know. It's stupid.
Nope. It's beyond stupid. It's just... And some people, what they post, for instance, I found... You got to be careful too, because in this day and age, anything... Once you post it on the internet,
it's there forever.
So there are benefits to being in an analog world as opposed to a digital world.
But in saying that,
to a degree, there are certain aspects.
I'm not saying you should live your life in fear, right? You can post if you feel like you want to post OnlyFans content, you fucking do yourself. You don't need to answer to anybody. You know what I mean? No one can tell you, no one should, and technically it's illegal for people to discriminate on you, against you. Not that I'm saying you wouldn't have to go put yourself through the stress of that, but I'm saying you can put whatever the hell you want online. You shouldn't have to fear people doing shit. But the sad thing is, in this day and age, you have to consider the fact that when you post something, it is there, and you wouldn't know. For example, I'm going to use an example, but I'm not going to say who they are. So one of your best friends, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Her mother-in-law has a Petstagram for her baby puppy.
Yeah.
And don't know her, but I know your friend.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. And when they all got together, they started adding random friends, and I happened to be in that random friend pile that everyone decided to friend, right?
Yep.
And she's absolutely lovely. Her puppy is absolutely gorgeous. And 2 days ago, she had a photo of said puppy. And this is the mother-in-law, and she posted said photo of the puppy. And me, because that's me. I'm an anxious person.
Yeah.
When I post, if I was to post things, I would make sure that A, I do it when I'm no longer there.
Yeah.
B, you have no other, shit in the background that you would think could lead back to your address or specific information about you. You don't want people to know what your car looks like outside, the colour, the make, the model. You don't want people to know what your rego plate is.
Yeah.
You don't want people to know that fucking information. And then so she had a picture of her puppy's ID tag, which, gorgeous, cute, she's gorgeous. People wouldn't necessarily think I'm going to pinch the image and get a perfectly clear picture of your address, your name, your husband's name, and your mobile phone numbers.
Yeah.
However, I'm a security psycho. So I said, look, I'm so sorry. This may come up like I'm a stalker. I assure you I'm not. However, I just wanted to let you know. I hope you never have to deal with it. I just don't want people soliciting you.
Yeah. And that's what they do.
And she was like, thank you so much. I didn't even realise. I didn't even think. And I didn't do it because I wanted to be told, thank you so much. You did something nice for me. It's just the fact that that's how I live my life.
Yeah. And that's, being cautious. That's, the better way to, be in some sense.
And it just sucks. Because you should be able to share and not have to look at Max Tuning. He videotaped dude, put it up in the vlog, and then 10 hours later had to change his whole phone number and everything. But everyone knows where that idiot lives.
Yeah. Because he's fucking dumb. Wealthy, but fucking dumb.
Dude, he is going to literally be in the multi-millions. Like, we're talking 200-300 million in 2-3 years.
I'm yet to try the sour straps. The sour strips?
No, they're a rip-off of... This is alleged. I don't want to be charged for any false damages. But have you heard of Derval Strips?
No.
They're the people who allegedly make Maxes.
Oh.
Hold on, let me show you.
So essentially,
Straps. They're called straps. Sorry. So you know how he wanted super sour?
Yeah.
So that's what he did. He changed their recipe, but they manufacture his as well as theirs.
So they are part owners.
I don't know if they're part owners, but they manufacture sours. Allegedly. I'm hoping it's in my Amazon history.
It would be. Always is.
Emailing me about it, and I was like, what? Is that audiobook? Damn. Is it Duvel? I can't remember.
But seeing...
Dorval Sour Power Belts. This is what they look like.
Ah, there you go.
So I'm not the one breaking the story. This is going on Fitstagram, quote unquote investigation accounts.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you what I read. He hasn't denied it, and ultimately he's technically not doing anything wrong, technically speaking, because it is his own company. He can purchase it's not like he and Alpha Elite do anything different and Buff Bunny. They buy them through, let's allegedly suggest AliExpress.
Yeah.
Then they have their logos printed on it, and then they sell it as is.
But some of the shit they buy is like $5 a pop. And because they're buying in bulk.
Do you know who the worst ones are? It's the girls who have their own, jewellery.
Oh.
their jewelry Instagram stores and, what do they call it? Own businesses, something. There's a specific term. I can't, and they're the business girls and they're like, oh, this is how I made this much money. It's like, no, sweetie, you made that much money because you spent $50 to get 100 of those pairs of earrings, but you sold each one at $50 a pop. Yes, you have to pay for packaging. Yes, you have to pay for shipping. Well, technically not, because you configure that into your price, but it's an offset to start your business to begin with, and then you have to think of all like the setup fees and websites. So I understand, but come on, after 2-3 launches, if you have enough followers before you start, you're making bank.
Yeah. So the other thing too is with fake jewelry, essentially, there's a lot of people that just don't pay any attention to what they're actually purchasing. They don't do the research. They don't do real-time shots. They don't do quotes. Like, they just go, oh yeah, I'll buy this. Legitimate jewelers.
And I'm talking about costume jewelry. So costume jewelry like Lavisa or whatever. And I have no hate to Lavisa, because I'm one of those people that's like, yeah, I have my ears pierced. My parents did that for me. But I'm not going to be like, I'm going to go get myself a $200-300 pair of earrings, because A, I would probably lose them. And B, if I damage them, also C, what am I going to do with fucking that? I'd rather just get $15 for, 5 pairs and just have those and rotate them and clean them out as you need to, as opposed to that, because I'd lose them. But allegedly, say you went into Michael Hill Jewelers and say you saw a pair of earrings and on there the tag says, let's for argument's say $150. When they scan that item in, they have a lowest threshold they can sell that item for.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. When it comes to gold changes a lot. Gold changes. And also, quick tip for everyone. This is a little bit of chemistry. But if you want to see if the gold you've got is fake,
bite it.
Put it in vinegar.
Bite it.
If it is fake, it'll darken.
If it's legit,
it won't. Also too, if you've got silver, obviously people wear a lot of silver jewelry. What you do is you get chalk. And then what you do is you rub the chalk on the silver, and if it darkens, just one of those things. So when it darkens, that's real silver.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it's fake. And then essentially what you can also do is use iodine.
You're really coming in with the freaking Christmas.
Yeah. So
the Christmas tips.
Christmas tips.
Could you imagine walking up to Michael Hill and they hand you over like a pendant for $3,000 and you're like, hold on, I'm just going to whip my chalk out.
Yeah. An interesting fact, a drop of iodine on platinum will stay dark, and the more saturated the colour, the higher the hallmark of the actual item.
It is what it is. Apparently the latest thing people do is the diamond testers, the little light measuring tool that looks like a pen. People like to go to Pandora and they like to test the diamonds, because apparently all the Pandora diamonds are cubic zirconia, and also, people thought that they were legitimate. Here's
another really cheap way. It doesn't cost anything. If you want to see if you got fake diamonds, just breathe on it, because technically, if it fogs,
yeah,
it's fake, because natural gems have high thermal conductivity, so they don't fog up. So that's one way to test. However, if it's cold and it's like you're breathing on it, obviously you get some
condensation.
However, fake diamonds sweat. Normal.
But also it depends on there's a whole literal thing where people are like, oh my god, my significant other got me cubic zirconia. And it's like, dude, a ring is a fucking ring. If you're that fucking concerned about how big the diamond is, your ass A doesn't deserve a real one, and B, you're as fake as fuck anyway. You might as well wear the fucking label.
Also too, pearls. If you want to go out and buy pearls for $20, they're fake.
No, pearls are legitimate.
Pearls are legitimate, and also
the more matte from memory they are, the The more cloudy they look, apparently the better they are.
And one way you can test it is if you buy a pearl.
All right, look, dude, we're already an hour in, so
it was
can we
interesting.
hustle it out?
It's shopping season. The listeners want this kind of stuff.
All right,
They're going to be talking.
So what's on your shopping list?
Well, obviously, I've got to think of jewellery to buy.
You're kidding me?
Now that we've gone through jewellery, yeah.
Jesus Christ. You're such a sellout. I'm actually done this year. I don't need to do any, I don't think.
Would you like to know the Hallmark ranges for different things?
Listen, we're not a shopping advice channel, but sure, go for it. What are you getting?
Okay, so a Hallmark with, say, a number of 925 means there is 92.5% pure metal.
Well, if it's not pure metal, what are they putting in it?
Composites, copper, brass.
No, brass isn't a metal. Brass is an alloy. Thank you very much. Talk real shit.
Very good. But no, they use fillers.
Yeah, but you just said...
Yeah, so for instance, the big three are gold, silver,
No, brass
platinum.
is... I know what brass is. I can't remember what brass is, though. It's golden. It's like... Is it gold and copper, or is it copper and something else? Copper and zinc. There you go.
So, there you go.
Alrighty.
I just found that was very interesting.
Okay. Alright. Now, is there anything else you want to say before we get into today's topic? No, actually.
I was just going to say that how do you find the D-pad now that it's switched over to the Elite controller D-pad?
Do you want the real tea?
Yeah, do it.
I didn't even connect the new Elite controller. I was like, cool, I like to bust things one at a time, right? I just bought this new controller and had it. Also, real fucking tea. You want to know the real fucking tea? How did JB Store to Door go from $5 to $13?
Bank.
That's what I need to know.
Bank. That's why.
Anyway, I haven't connected it. I've been using... Because everything is so backwards compatible, dude. Figured just use the one controller.
But on a side note...
Yes. You haven't even used it yet.
I haven't used it yet, but...
Just saying, the textures pack for Modern Warfare.
Playing in a lobby
kiss.
last night... This is a good thing.
What the hell was that?
That was a weird noise.
Was that a... Let's check the security.
Something went...
Was that someone parking out the front?
That must have been. That was funny. Shotguns. Was in a lobby, and essentially we were playing against a team with a bunch of just running around with shotguns.
Yes,
and
it was.
shields.
They left.
We were running around.
It was a car.
A buddy of mine and I, and by buddy I mean just
Rob.
Yeah. So Rob and I were running.
He's going to listen to this and be so butthurt that you
so
said
butthurt.
buddy instead of
doing
brother.
it on purpose.
I know.
Because
I'm selling you out.
And you know why?
He
took the vehicle. He made me run after the vehicle.
Listen, you are not allowed to drive.
I'm a good driver.
Driving is one of those things that you're not allowed to do in game. The second thing you're not allowed to do in game is chatter unnecessarily.
So I'm not allowed to fly the chopper. I'm not allowed to talk in chat.
When you have any piloting of any vehicle, we die because you run us into walls, you don't drive evasively, and you don't know where to go.
Also, can we just talk about how you and I were playing a game?
All I'm saying...
And that helicopter came up and they started shooting at us, and then I returned fire, destroyed the chopper, and they fucked off real quick.
All I'm saying is... All I'm saying is, I know it's only n equals 2. However, there is some statistical analysis that both of your brothers will only play Call of Duty with you if I am party lead.
Because they're shit.
No, because we're here to XP farm. That's how you level up, buddy.
Hey, I leveled up slowly. Slowly.
You still got... The new game's coming out.
And I will finish this game before I start the new one.
Right on.
That's how it works.
Okay, is there anything else we need to argue about before we get this party started?
Roof tiles.
This is a very controversial topic right now.
Yes, roof tiles. I feel that Australian roof tiles are far superior to roof tiles in America.
Do you want to know why that is? Because in America they don't necessarily use roof tiles.
No.
Because they have to account for snow.
And also they have to account for tornadoes.
Yeah. Although everyone on the internet has made a decision that when Florida gets another hurricane, we're just going to let them be.
Yep. Just let them go.
They're going to turn blue again.
Yep,
They're going to turn blue eventually.
Yep. Let it go. And that's me done. I'm heading back to the lobby.
You're going to be here for another hour and a half.
No, what I mean was, no more of my cod bullshit. We're back to the main topic now.
Beautiful. Okay. Project Pegasus. Are you familiar? Don't you do any Googling. Listen.
Project Pegasus. Horse with wings.
Listen.
Horse with wings.
I started the research for this topic with an open mind.
Yeah.
I went down...
Hercules.
Listen to this. I went down an 18-hour...
Rabbit hole?
Yes. And I'm just going to say...
Fucked.
Yeah. I'm not saying I believed all of it, because you're going to find out that some really weird shit, and it took a very dark turn real quick, right? Yeah. You go through and you're like, okay, it makes sense. We know, we've covered ourselves. America, don't you be Googling, because I'm going to be very upset.
I'm not Googling.
I need your reactions, and I need you to talk this week, okay? You need to show your shock and horror.
Shock and horror.
For about 10-30 minutes, you're going to be like, okay, that makes sense. It sounds plausible. I'm not saying you believe it. And then we take a sharp right turn into redneck territory,
and
then we are off.
So we're talking
into the Gulf of Mexico.
So we're talking like Deliverance, kind of.
We're past Deliverance. We're talking about someone exploiting one of America's darkest moments.
Wow.
For fame.
Wow. Okay. So basically, hardcore banjo music into oil territory, and let's hijack a plane. Essentially.
I wish you didn't use that last phrasing. And you're going to find out when we get there.
Okay, there you go.
All right. So, basically, it makes sense that the governments, especially the American government, because they have to be the biggest and the best, they would want to, find out if teleportation and time travel are possible.
Did they have a TARDIS?
Maybe they do. The theory is that there was a spaceship that crashed, and, I'm not saying I believe it, I'm just telling you what, that's the whole Roswell thing, right?
Yeah.
So that spaceship is actually more like a time machine, and then they reverse engineered it, and then that's how we know that technology.
Similar to the Nazi bell. They reckon the Nazi bell is a time-travelling device.
I don't know what the Nazi bell is.
Looks like a bell.
Okay, and what's that got to do with what I'm talking about right now?
No, it's all about the whole time travel thing as well.
Okay, all right. So do you think that time travel is something that will be achieved in our lifetime?
No.
No?
No.
I think as soon as you start exploiting that shit, a rift opens and we're all fucked.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion on the matter.
So essentially, think of like what Stephen Hawking did. He essentially held a birthday party.
And no one came.
No one came, which proved that no one knew about it. There you go. No one from the future. Done.
Or maybe he just had to disclose that to the public.
Yeah. Imagine if he...
They would never disclose anything like that to the public,
No, because brain breaking. Your brain would not be able to deal with it.
Okay, so let's move on a little... Let's take it one step further. Let's say that this technology existed. Let's just imagine for a moment.
Okay.
Where would they go to recruit people to test this technology?
Obviously, you would go a lower... Okay. Economically unfeasible location. People who are poor. People who are looking for opportunities to make money. People who are looking at means to increase their mode of survival.
Look what again, not to turn on the Nazis, but what's that town they made in Argentina?
Shit, I should know this, but I can't remember it. So essentially, yeah. Small opportunistic villages, maybe. The last thing? No.
But you'd still need scientists. You'd still need quote-unquote reputable
True.
people, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You really helped me today.
Sorry, you told me not to type, so I'm not typing.
I'm not asking you to Google. I just needed your input. All right. Let's send things a little more home then. Do you reckon the Vatican has or had technology relating to time travel.
Well...
You want to know my real fucking thoughts? Because I did some real serious fucking thing. Do you know that Archangel Michael is supposedly allowed to teleport?
Well, Red Bull gives you wings.
Actually, his colour's blue. You'd be interested to know.
Yeah. There you go. Flights of fancy, birds of a feather flock together.
Alright, we're shutting that up. They're shutting that down. Alright. So this conspiracy has a lot of moving parts that don't make sense, but this started out with, this is me writing in my notes. We love military conspiracies, so that's why we're covering it today. You should have slapped me silly and not let me go down this rabbit hole because I'm about to ruin it for everyone.
Well, that's what we enjoy.
So personally, unless something is declassified or disclosed, we are a skeptical.
Yeah.
We debunk before we approve.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't necessarily... Again, the whole basis of a government working on this thing makes 100% plausible sense.
Wait, so you're telling me that governments do shady shit behind our backs? All this time I thought they were 100% above board. Wow, I just feel like
all I'm saying to you is there is a man that works very high above Donald Trump, right? And on the 20th of January at 12:01 a.m., he is no longer the representative of America. He cannot leave the country. He knows too much. He will be followed by Secret Service. I was about to say Secret Security. That's not right.
Secret Service.
For the rest of his life.
And I think he'll also...
If he breaks rules, if he talks to anyone about anything...
Bye-bye.
That's treason.
Bye-bye.
Do you know what they do to Americans who do that shit?
Bye-bye. 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 You speak once, you don't speak again. Bye-bye.
Alright.
You go away a long time. Bye-bye.
You never to be seen from again, dude.
You go to Bunker 31.
What is it? B613?
B613, yeah. Bye-bye.
Anyway, alright,
Bye-bye.
So the skeleton of this theory is that Project Pegasus is a US black project operated under the Air Force Space Command that has allegedly achieved successful organic teleportations to the moon and more notably to Mars. So just a quick definition here, because I needed to know this definition. But organic teleportation means that something made up of an organic substance, whether it be an orange, an apple, any living creature, whether it be human or otherwise, a lab mouse, can merge and appear anywhere else as the same substance. So you go in one end, and then you come out the other end the same way.
Think of Star Trek.
Yes.
People, think of Star Trek. Teleportation.
But that's called organic teleportation. All I'm saying is, I like the, what's the one from Halo? You know when you jump into the portals at Halo and you come out a little dirty at the end?
The man cannons.
No, the teleport. They had it in Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, sorry, but I usually spawn with plasma grenades.
Listen, again, you're a fucking deserter.
Yeah, I am.
I have two other people that can back me up.
Yeah, but I tell you what, it was fun. I was looking for
It's
snaps.
fun for you.
It's
not fun for everyone else who's dying and needs their fucking teammate.
That's why they bring out Halo Infinite, because of the infinite possibilities. Just think.
This is why no one plays with you.
Because I'm fucking OP.
No, you're under P.
I'm Lone Wolf.
No, here's the thing.
I'm a
You
Ronin.
think you're a Ronin.
No, disregard that I don't think when I play games. I just react.
If you're a Ronin, I'm a 5-fucking-star general. Do you know how many times I've commanded people to get you out of a situation? Yesterday alone, right? You were on the fucking roof of TV station. You shouldn't have been on the roof of TV station.
Well, I was.
So you know what I did?
There was snaps.
I commanded Rob.
Yeah, Rob, you got commanded.
No. He is a general too. He's his own 5-star general. He didn't plant. He called in the airstrike to cover your ass so your ass could come underground with us.
Yeah, and then he stole my vehicle.
He's entitled to a vehicle.
He made me chase after the vehicle.
I'm surprised he didn't run you over.
He did. He tried to run me over while I was in another vehicle.
Beautiful.
He ran away from my trophy system too.
I'd run away from you too if I could. Anyway, so
Conspiracies.
Project Pegasus says that there was success, one specific person, into time travel. However, it's more likely that test subjects or victims of Project Pegasus were really subjects of mind control. Because although not confirmed, Pegasus may have been an experimental extension of Project MKUltra.
What, they fucking tripped some acid and then just decided, look, I'm going to move from the front of the base to the back of the base. Oh, shit, I've teleported. Oh, my God, this is...
We's going to get there. And the whistleblower, with quotation marks...
What do they do, blow a fucking
said
tuba?
That all of this was made possible by the work of Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla. Now, for all those people familiar with Nikola Teslas, hopefully people have played Command and Conquer and Red Alert because...
I have no idea what any of those things were. Those
RTS,
words you just came out of your mouth.
Putting up little Tesla coils.
I've seen Tesla coils.
Zap,
Have
zap.
you been in Science Works before?
Yes.
They've got a Tesla coil.
I love pissing AFL fans off when I do rugby passes at targets.
That's not science work. Oh shit, that is science works. What am I talking about? That was a trip. That guy was very upset.
That guy was very, very upset. He basically went YMCAU, what the fuck you doing? And the child then looked to me.
Keep in mind, it was for an AFL handball.
But the child looked shocked. Here's his dad trying to fucking handball shit in the hole.
In the
and I'm
footy,
just
and
like,
you're just
oh, look
like-
at this. Ping, done, thanks very much. And the
It's
kid's
called
like...
a Passover, isn't it?
Just a...
What's that called when it's rugby? Is it? It's
passing.
still a handball? I thought
Just
it's
a
called
pass.
pass.
Just
Yeah.
a pass. Just passed it off. Just
From twice the distance.
twice the distance.
For mind you. And this kid thought you were some rugby league star.
He was fucking...
Oh no, you prefer union, don't you? Rugby
He was shooketh. He was fucking shooketh. And the father looked like he was about to, grab a crowbar and,
Shooketh your skull.
Shooketh my skull.
Anyway, so let's put some more meat on the bones of this. We're going to the alleged history of this project. So, around 1947, teleportation research and development was formed by members from the Manhattan Project and the imported Germans under Operation Paperclip, who were enrolled as War Department special employees. And then in 1958, Dwight D. Eisenhower, his administration, along with Richard Nixon, who was vice president at the time, established both NASA and DARPA. DARPA is short for Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. And then in the interests of national security, all projects under the newly formed DARPA were marked classified. And this is complete contrast to NASA because everything that NASA... So if NASA takes a photo, under policy, it has to be public domain.
Yep.
Everyone sees everything that NASA puts out. Whereas DARPA is a complete... Well, conversely, DARPA is... No one sees anything unless you are cleared to do so.
Because there be some...
Dark shit.
Dark shit, yeah.
And allegedly, what DARPA knows, no other branch in United States intelligence, military knows about what DARPA knows unless it is necessary for them to know.
Yeah. Very, very hush-hush.
So, at the time, NASA was doing a lot of rocket research designs because everyone's trying to get to the moon. And teleportation research designs from the Manhattan and Paperclip teams were absorbed into an umbrella project under the Air Force. And then by 1961, NASA, in concert with the Air Force, was conducting rocket flight tests for the Apollo program. And then after the Kennedy assassination, the Lyndon B. Johnson administration took office, and they allegedly launched the Air Force allegedly launched Project Pegasus. By the way, I saw this thing the other day on Instagram, and they were talking about a news article. And so, when Jackie Kennedy still had her husband's brains all over her, she had to shake Johnson's hand. Johnson winked to his right-hand man like, fuck yeah, we did it.
Yeah. Very, very controversial.
And he was smiling, like he and his mate were smiling. So Jackie's there, like, still shell-shocked. She wanted to wear the same outfit so people could know
Yeah.
Right? And she wanted to be herself. And, you know, she was allegedly, like, really stoic and shit. And so the Kennedys were, like, the first Kardashians. Like, they knew how to work the media.
Yeah. And you look at National Treasure, I like those kind of big, conspiracy, espionage, treasure hunting, you know.
No, sorry, I know it has nothing to do with the thing, but it just reminded me of that picture I saw. So in 1964, Project Pegasus conducted a teleportation jump, and their tests led to successful teleportation events.
Ooh.
Then a year later, in 65, NASA experienced major setbacks in the Apollo program requiring the attention of a Tiger team. While a Tiger team from memory, what did they say a Tiger team was? Let me go look at my supplementary notes. It's a group of specialists, so if, for example, if NASA needs to work on a project and they need to build one specific rocket and no one else knows about, let's talk about the burner of the rocket, they will assemble the best people they have around predominantly the North American area, but around the world if they have to do. And then we'll fly them into the Kennedy Space Station, and they will make them work there until they figure out how to build that burner.
Yeah.
No expenses are too much. They will get the best of the best that are pioneers in that specific field.
All done.
So that's, you know, the best of the best that they can gather. So meanwhile, Project Pegasus is going on under the Nixon administration, and that resulted in numerous successful human teleportations, which subsequently led to time travel allegedly during 1970.
Shit.
So that's when they started. So they've done all their testing, and it kicks off the ground during the 1970s. And because time travel was such a clear interest, because of they wanted to avoid the threat of the nuclear holocaust that was posed during the Cold War and everything going on with the Soviet Union at that point in time. And then so my next train of thought, I suppose, was, okay, so they're doing these experiments, what are they comprised of and who's involved? Right? So A, what are they doing?
Yeah.
B, who's doing it? So according to this whistleblower that we're going to get into soon, allegedly 140 children were used in experimental jumps to Mars, along with time travel tests.
Okay.
So then, I read that, and I was like, okay, why children? And then in my head, I thought, okay, is it because they're composed of less biomass, so they're easier? Because you need to use a human.
Yes.
So you get a small human, and you see if a small human comes out the other end. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're smaller, therefore... I don't know the physics of it. I'm not a physicist. The only thing I know about physics is how light works through a microscope. And the basic shit that you talk. E equals mc squared, right? But the only hardcore physics shit I know is about light with microscopes.
Yeah.
Because I needed to do that shit. But I'm just saying to you, that was one thought. My second thought was, you know why? Because children are easier to control.
True.
And manipulate. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. You want the new PS5? Tell you what, you take 5 seconds. Let me see what I did there. 5 seconds to Mars, I'll get you the new PS5. What do you know about that?
Done.
Cash me outside. Let's go.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Come on. You know what I mean? Kids are easier to manipulate than adults.
True. And see, here's the thing. Obviously, the amount of young people in the world at the moment is constantly increasing. However, in the digital age...
we already know that Americans were doing that
Yeah.
for other blacklisted projects at the time.
Yeah. Get kids. They don't know any better.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can get them off the streets...
Poorer countries.
Even better.
Even better.
Not that I'm saying it's better. That's not what I mean at all.
Countries.
I'm just saying if there are less people to ask about the children's health and whereabouts, or if the government was able to pay off the family, wouldn't they morally think it's a better choice? They're not going to tell the parent what their kid's off to do.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, and then I found that allegedly any adults that actually manage the jumps suffered psychological trauma.
Shit.
Children also seem to psychologically adapt better to the jumps. However, allegedly there was one instance where one child returned from his temporal voyage before his legs.
Shit.
Alfred Weeb, who we're going to talk about in a sec, he reported that he was writhing in pain with just stumps where his legs had been.
There's some
It's a
sound
very
effects
thirsty
for that.
moment for Sherlock.
Yeah.
So Alfred Weeb was a alleged principal investigator for a proposed civilian scientific study of extraterrestrial communication, which meant interactive communication between the terrestrial human culture, and that of possible intelligent non-terrestrial civilizations. And then scientific public policy proposed in 1977 that the Carter White House extraterrestrial communication study was to fulfill a substantial gap in civilian scientific knowledge of the UFO, because that's what they called it back then before it was unidentified flying phenomena, it was objects, and extraterrestrial biological entities and related phenomena. And this study allegedly also included other black projects such as Project Grudge and Blue Book, and other secret programs that to this day we don't know about.
Ooh.
This is again alleged. So he was an activist, and he wanted to prevent the weaponization of space and wanted to use the agenda to transform the permanent war economy into a peaceful, cooperative, democratic space-age society. He allegedly graduated from Yale in 1964 with a Juris Doctor, or a JD, in international law in 1967, and a Fulbright Scholar in economic integration in 1968. He was also the congressional coordinator for the Disclosure Project, and he's huge on the Kuala Lumpur War Crime Commission. And he has a radio station where he's an on-air host on radio CFRO 102.7 FM in Vancouver. So if you're there, let us know what he sounds like.
Yeah.
So, now we're going to talk about the most controversial person, and it starts off with like, yeah, okay, and this is where it
goes off.
Right. So, the alleged and biggest alleged whistleblower, in quotation marks, of this alleged government project is someone by the name of Andrew Barciago.
Never heard of him.
I hadn't either at the time, but you're about to.
Woo!
So this guy is an attorney from Washington State, not Washington,
Now, just
DC.
remember, in Washington, they stated that he was an eternity. That's why he's an eternity in Washington
I'm going to
State.
tell you some stuff.
Do it!
And then I'm going to... Alright, so what I'm telling you is allegedly his stuff right now,
Okay.
right? And then at the end, I am going to talk about some things that I was able to find on the internet, but I'm going to talk about it in my opinion. I'm not saying it's fact, I'm saying my theory.
So what you're going to do is you're going to hand me a spoonful of the
Primordial
primordial whiz-fizz.
Yes.
Yeah, give me some of that.
All right. So this guy is an attorney from Washington, so he seems pretty legitimate, right? On that face alone.
For now.
He claims that he's a former child jumper, and that George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama were also child jumpers involved in this government experiment before they became presidents. So I need you to remember his fondness of presidents, all right? Because it's going to be very pertinent to the story.
It's going to blow my mind.
He obviously doesn't like Trump, though. And obviously I don't blame him, because I wouldn't want him on my secret government child testing crew either.
Yeah.
So, anywho, Mr. Andrew Basiago claims that he and these future presidents were involved in massive historical events such as the Gettysburg Address and had met previous presidents like George Washington. And he claims that there's a photo at the Gettysburg Address, and he is in the photo. There's pictures of him outlined in red circles and stuff and arrows, and he claims that that is him. He's tried to say that he's wearing jeans in that photo. He's wearing shoes that weren't available at the time, clothes that weren't available at the time, so on and so forth. Again, I'm not going to talk shit and smack in case in 5 years this shit comes out. But all I'm going to say is the detail of the picture isn't enough.
No.
And we don't have a picture of him when he was a child to have a look at that. And also, I'm not trying to be that person, but I thought the number one rule of time travel was you had to dress the era.
This sounds like it's going to get very messy.
So it makes sense to me that they would want to make presidents as patriotic as possible.
Okay, just quickly though.
Yes, okay.
So
oh my god, he's putting in 2 cents. Oh my god.
Here's what I've always wondered.
Yes.
Presidents.
Yes, presidents.
So essentially, presidents are put in power, and dependent on how you push an agenda is which president gets put into power. So therefore, I feel as much as, okay, it's like winning the lottery. You got 2 people that are put forward by the government, essentially. The people vote, and essentially, in America...
Well, what happens is there's a Democratic Party and there's the Republican Party, right? And they all come together and they, within their own parties, obviously, and they say, okay, like Barack Obama wasn't their drive to begin with. He would have been up with 10, 20, 30 other people, and they narrow down the list and then they narrow it down. So what's best optics for the party? What's the best person for the party? Because
I guarantee you, if they really wanted to spin some shit, Kanye West would be president right now. Hypothetically, Ja Rule could be president right now. If it came down
what happened to D's nuts?
Exactly.
In the last, not this election, like election beforehand.
Yeah, nothing.
So, to me, it makes sense that they'd want to make presidents as patriotic as possible, but I think it's one of those things where clearance is way, way above the president. There are classifications that the president doesn't know about until the president needs to know information, and they know when the president needs to know stuff. Otherwise, it's because technically the president is for the people.
Yes.
These people don't work for the people.
No.
They work for the nation.
Yeah.
Or, as some people would say, the corporations behind America, but it is what it is. So anyway, Andrew goes on to make these allegations, and he, says that there are other child jumpers as well, apart from these presidents. The first guy we're going to talk about is Bernard Mendes. Now, Mr. Basiago has provided a picture of Mr. Mendes.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to state that as a fact now, that is the case.
Yep.
So we're going to get into it a bit. I know I say that, but I have to build it in a certain structure. So basically, there is a Facebook group about Project Pegasus that Andrew runs.
Okay.
Allegedly Andrew runs, right? And he gave everyone a fucking biography that he named. I need you to tell me what you think is plausible as we go through these people.
Okay.
And what you think doesn't sound like evidence. So, he gave a whole bloody biography and good old, story about Mr. Bernie here. He said that he was born, this is Bernard Mendes, and he says that Bernard was born in Staten Island, New York, into a family deeply involved in military service. His father, Bernard Mendes Sr., served in World War II for the US Army and was intimately involved in secret military projects. By the age of 2, his son, Junior, was observed by family members to have a seemingly ability to see objects in the invisible range of the spectrum, which to me, I say in capital letters, hello, this is a big deal and would have made the kid a media sensation, and he probably would have had to be medically tested and experimented on, i.e. records of this would have existed.
Yeah.
So, our eyes can't pick up infrared. Do you know how big a fucking deal it would be if someone could perceive infrared?
So essentially, they would be in the range of a tetrachromacy.
Yes.
Yeah. So...
We're talking about a gene that is not known to exist. Our closest evolutionary relatives can't do this.
There's about the only thing that we have, there is a condition from memory called trichromacy, where it's rare and it occurs more frequently in women than men.
But the thing is, all right, so what I'm trying to get at, right, is you need to have a gene. Your parents coming together to fertilize the egg that becomes you, right, needs to have the gene to pull the calcium ions in. We have rhodopsin receptors.
Yeah.
You need a different receptor to tell your brain that you are perceiving that wavelength.
Yeah, because honestly, if we were perceiving infrared, our brains would fucking overload.
It's not about that fact. What I'm saying is, let's not talk about the semantics.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there is no gene.
The only way you'd be able to get
screened in humans or our closest relatives, evolutionary, to do that.
No.
So what I'm saying to you is, if this child could allegedly do this, he would be kept under lock and key. They would have detached regions of his retina to study him.
Yeah, he would be a guinea pig.
The media would hear about this, and we would know about this.
Yeah, it would be, some Nobel fucking prize shit.
That's what I'm telling you, right? So, this is my first
rodeo of vision.
Anyway.
In the future.
Listen, mate.
I'm talking shit. This is also too.
Oh, fucking hell.
Just the concept that this kind of thing is actually even happening. I feel like they're just talking shit. They've got to be talking shit.
We're going to get there. So upon medical examination, it was discovered that Bernie possessed Bernie is not his name, that's what I'm going to refer to him as. Bernie possessed an unusually high number of rods and cones in his eyes that allowed him to see in the dark. And I would like to point out and say, fuck you, cunt. Yeah. Because cones are not for dark and light.
No, they're not.
So...
That's bullshit.
Talk mad fucking trash all you want. And it's not the number of cones.
Nope.
Either.
Nope.
That's how cats do it. They've got a different... The backing. Cows too. Sheep too.
Yep. Rabbits.
All I'm saying to you is it doesn't work.
Chameleons.
So throughout his youth, Bernie had numerous direct encounters with several ET races. This is a separate podcast topic on its own. Yeah. But greys are the more traditional ones that you see in horror movies and stuff, right? So...
oh, you mean the one where supposedly the greys have been inserting themselves in, media since the fucking 40s to
No, that's the reptiles.
Sorry, the reptiles. So that humans are aware of their presence. And also this was in the movie Paul.
Have you ever seen the remake of the TV show V?
Yes.
That was a beautiful TV show.
Like half a minute of the first episode.
Oh, you're fucking terrible. I'm going to have to find that and we're going to have to marathon it.
Yeah.
Any mahoozle. So, one of which were the greys, and these encounters continued into his teenage years. And then at 16, he decided to enlist in the US Navy, and he was assigned to the Special Forces Command. And can I just say, as someone who just has an idea, and I've never been to fucking war. I'm not saying I know fucking anything just because I read a book or I watched a movie or I watched a fucking documentary. Fuck no. Biggest fucking pose there is, me, right now. What I'm saying to you is, my understanding is that you have to fucking go to boot camp first, then you have to go to the first fucking training session that they give you once you've qualified to a thing, and then, after 2-3 years, if you've established yourself as a useful fucking soldier, then you can apply for Special Forces. And majority of the time, you can't apply for that shit. They will pull you and say, we are interested in having you.
Yep.
All I'm saying to you is, unless fucking someone had a son who had already shown insanely unless Prince fucking William's son decided he wanted to be special forces at the age of fucking 16, no one can do that.
Yep. Nobody.
Okay? Alright, thank you. Now that please, if you are an actual serviceman or woman, person, please feel free to correct me. Again, I'm just a stupid civvy talking stupid civvy shit, but this is my understanding of said matter.
Yep.
Okay, now that we're there. So now we're going to jump to the 9th of October 1970. Fucking hell. I can't even believe I'm about to say this. So Bernie, he's here in Australia, and he was abducted by aliens here in Australia.
What, Collingwood supporters?
Fuck. And Navy SEALs had to come and get him.
Do you mean he actually went to SeaWorld and he went and visited the SEALs there?
And it was reported by the Associated Press. And I want you to know, I'm a cybernetic fucking stalker. I couldn't find anything of this for the fucking life of me. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm saying it doesn't fucking exist.
This is some bullshit.
Alright? This doesn't make fucking sense. I could not find this article. The only hits I got on this story were this Facebook group.
Wow. Way to go, Facebook.
No, as in Andrew Basiago's Project Pegasus. A thing that I just read all that information to you from. So apparently this incident that was so highly publicised that no record of it exists now, allegedly caught the attention of Richard Nixon, who was president at the time. And he asked to meet the young sailor at the White House. So Bernie travels over to the White House, and then President Nixon recruits Bernie to be a special assistant in a secret government program dealing directly with extraterrestrials. And he was sent to locations all over the world, including Alaska. Even though Alaska's part of the US. But that's a different story. Australia, China, France, Antarctica, the North Pole, Catalina Island, K2, the fjords, as well as the infamous secret underground bases known as Area 51 and Camp Hero, aka Montauk Naval Air Space Station, and Groom Lake and China Lake and Clove Lakes. And he visited these places in order to negotiate directly with various ET representatives on behalf of the US government. Bernie even visited a secret underground base in England known as the Batcave.
I'm Batman.
And former Soviet Union versions of NASA, Kasputin Yar, near Volgograd, Russia.
What do they call it? The Baklava Cave.
Have you ever seen people on TikTok try to make baklava?
It's
the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. During his years of service, Bernie obtained what is known as a cosmic level clearance, designated Yankee White, because you need to be some fucking white backwater bitch to understand and think that this information is true.
More like Whiskey Alpha November Kilo.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot?
No, what an absolute wank.
No, I said what the fuck, but you do what you want to do, fine. Which permitted him to work for the White House. No, because that works above the White House. That's the fucking point. Oh. So he rose through many different access levels from 43 to 47, and then he was promoted to 53, then 57, before eventually reaching access level 59, and then he was told he would go no further, though there was an access level 60, which was the highest level. And then from spring in 1971 until the Watergate scandal forced President Nixon to resign on the 9th of August in 1974, Bernie worked for the Nixon White House as go-between between the various Greys and Palladians, which are the Nordic race of aliens. And he continued in a secret government service for a brief time into the 1980s before he retired at a young age. And then in 2011, Bernie heard an interview on Andrew's talk radio talk show, Coast to Coast AM, with George Noory about his participation in a secret government time travel program called Project Pegasus in the early 1970s, and later secret Mars visitation program in the 80s. And then Bernie was like, oh my god, I was part of that. Yes, I need to come forward after years of living in isolation.
Sounds like he was living under a rock.
Bernie decided to contact the American chronaut. This is what Andrew Barciago calls himself, a chronaut. And they confirmed that they had served together in Project Mars, which was the CIA's Mars jump room program of the early 1980s, with Barack H. Obama, Regina E. Dugan, and William B. Stillings, as well as William C. McCool and other young Americans of their generation. And then beginning in 2012, Bernie began to appear jointly with Andrew in presentations at the Awakening Center in Rainier, Washington, and Exo University in Vancouver, British Columbia, as well as in radio interviews hosted by Tim Bravo, Vinnie Eastwood, and Lisa M. Harrison. Currently, Mendes still lives in the same neighborhood he grew up on Staten Island, while venturing out to tell his amazing experiences within secret government projects before rapt audiences across the country. And I want you to know something. I'm not saying you should do it, but I'm saying it's legal when I did it and what I did. I'm not saying you should do this to actual living people, but I'm saying if you want to know a story is true or not, it's not illegal to do a reverse Google image search.
No, it's not.
And I reversed imaged this picture of Bernie, and it came up with a WordPress, which is now closed, but it was talking a little bit. It was the same shit, exact same biography. And then again, this isn't illegal, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I used the white pages, and there is a gentleman in his 60s living in New Jersey with the same name, but he wasn't listed as junior. And there was no senior listed as his father, or like Bernard Menendez listed in his relatives.
Jeez.
So take that
as you will,
with what you will. I don't know what to tell you. That's just one person.
Oh, God.
We've still got others to go through. So now we're going to talk about Glenn Pruitt. Again, the only place I could find information about him other than allegations in Andrew's story is Andrew's Facebook group.
Yeah.
Right? And this is me reading from that group bio, basic bio. The team leader of Project Pegasus, who later served as the research director of Project Montauk, told writer Alexandra Bruce that he and his father went back in time and met with Nikola Tesla. And according to Alexandra, when she met with Jack Pruitt and his late son Glenn Pruitt, Jack showed her a vintage photograph showing Jack and his father meeting with Tesla during Tesla's life. Jack was born in 1934. Tesla died in 1943. And in the picture, Jack was an adult, meaning he had to have had time to travel to meet Tesla when Jack was a grown-up and not under 9 years old and Tesla was alive. Again, that's a quote. He quoted himself.
Yeah.
So, Alexandra Burke is someone that's questioned a lot on this Facebook page. And people were saying, okay, so if this photo existed, how come you don't show it to us? And then he's like, oh, I don't have a copy of the photo. You'd have to ask the Pruitt family. And then people are like, but we can't find the Pruitt family, and you're the one making these allegations, so it makes sense that you would provide the evidence to back it up.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh, you know who we should contact? Alexandra Burke, the alleged writer. And then he doesn't call her Alexandra Burke, he calls her Chica, as in Chica Burke. Right? And so I had to go through 5 fucking years of finding out who Chica Burke, past posts, to find out who the fuck Chica Burke was. So I found her website, which was ForbiddenKnowledgeTV.com. It's since been expired. Her Twitter is Chica Bruce. She posts about a lot of COVID conspiracies, so
Yeah.
that already throws all accountability out of the window for me. When I searched her tweets, she's not once mentioned Project Pegasus. And then, so I went through, and apparently she is like a... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, she's not a proper... I don't want to say proper author, but she's published some sci-fi, quote-unquote, real... I'm calling it sci-fi, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
She wrote The Philadelphia Experiment Murder. Investing in liquid assets, uncorking profits, Beyond the Bleep, the definitive unauthorized, and I don't know what the rest of the title is, 2012, Science or Superstition, and then most recently, she's putting out next year in May, Sustainable Style. So, I'm not trying to be rude, but you'd think if you had a picture of yourself with Nikola Tesla, why aren't you contacting Barbara Walters? So this photo, even in his group, stirs up a lot of turmoil. Right? So people ask about this all the time. 5 years ago, someone asked a question, and then Andrew, from his personal Facebook page, or alleged personal Facebook, it is personal because we're going to get into it later, but I'm just going to say that. He goes, so this person who asked this question, like, where's the photo then? This person was called David. And Andrew goes, David, your point does not conform with normal evidential analysis. The picture could exist. Alexandra could have been shown it by Jack and could still be unavailable to us because Jack declined to give a copy of the image to Alexandra Bruce. I think that this was a truthful account by Chica Bruce, who is, for example, a skeptic on Mars visitation and who, as a book writer, has tended to write in a way that preserves her credibility. I know it's a third-hand information, but it still tends to have the effect of linking Tesla and Project Pegasus.
Right. So essentially, because obviously Tesla was just a brilliant mind, and did a lot of crazy, shit.
Someone's trying to capitalise.
Someone's trying to just capitalise on it.
Alright, so we have that. Now we're about to take another step.
Cool.
So, Andrew's dad was allegedly Raymond F. Barciago. And Andrew maintains that he was introduced to this project by his father in 1968 at the age of 6. So he says that his dad worked for Ralph M. Parsons Company as a special projects engineer for Parsons Company. First off, he spells Parsons Company wrong. And that's really fucking important when you think about who Parsons Company is, because they provide like process engineering, facility design, and engineering for military aircraft, missiles, rockets. So they're like the engineering brains.
Yeah.
Behind a lot of military kind of designs and projects. And they hold a lot of contracts for construction and operations of various jet propulsion facilities. We're talking like nuclear, chemical, heavy metal containment, and stuff like that. Some of their, these are legitimate people, so I'm not talking bad about the company.
Yeah.
They have legitimate actual clients, like BP, Exxon, Saudi Arabia. So they're an actual legitimate thing that he is dragging into the mud. They work on projects like Titan, Minuteman, ICBM bases, NASA, the US Army Corps of Engineers, and many other military and civilian projects. So, Andrew's dad, Raymond, allegedly, including also with the trainers at Project Pegasus, allegedly discussed various things with Andrew, including describing where the technology came from and how it was acquired.
Yeah.
And so he says that his father and his father's fellow colleagues told him that Tesla had discovered radiant energy and developed a teleportation device, which was later confiscated along with all his documents by the military secret department. And that the US military had accomplished practical time travel by 1970 and developed many different ways to travel through time. He also worked with a physicist from Manhattan Project on the Pegasus project, and Andrew recalls working on 2 main projects, one in his childhood and another one while as a student as an undergraduate at UCLA in the 80s. So I've gone, okay, let's do some more digging on Mr. Raymond Barciago. Their family has literally 300 Ancestry.com trees.
Oh. So, backstory may have been taken, so traceability is relatively low.
So, all of them say that he was born in 1923 in Pennsylvania. All of them have his wife listed as Ethel Knights. I can't view the trees because I'm not a registered member, and keep in mind that people build trees for yourself. Like, I could build a tree saying that you're my great-great-grandfather, you know.
Stop it,
so I don't...
Stop it,
It's not legitimate because you just key in the person's name and it adds it to a tree like a mind map would.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know what to tell you there. I could say that my dad's Barack Obama, my mum's Celine Dion. Like, you could put in whatever you want. It's not fact-checked.
That's a presidential statement if ever I heard one.
It's better than half the shit Trump's been saying, let me tell you.
True.
So, in terms of Parsons Company, Andrew and his minions spell it Parson''S in some places, but they also always refer to it as company, but it's corporation.
Yeah, corporation.
Their bio is Parsons Company is an American technology fund. Oh, what cat is running around squeaking?
I know what the squeaking is.
Someone wants some cuddles. Where was I with this? So Parsons Corporation's biography is an American technology-focused defense, intelligence, security, and infrastructure engineering firm headquartered in Centerville, Virginia. The company was founded in 1944. Parsons has more than 16,000 employees across 24 countries. Their website has a timeline, so you can go through and I can tell you that. Well, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't hide it if indeed any of this was true. I acknowledge that. What I'm saying to you is it doesn't show up on their timeline. And when you type in Basiago or Raymond Basiago or Andrew Basiago, there are no hits on that. And obviously they wouldn't provide me or us with employee records from the 60s and 70s, so we can't fact check that. But I feel like the company would have taken them down if this shit was legitimate and they were speaking out on it. But also at the same time, do they just not care? They got bigger fish to fry because they know this guy's worth nothing in terms of defamation and slander?
I think so. It's all just opinionated bullshit. So they're like, we're not going to even bother.
Maybe that's why he's protected, because he spells it in such a way, like he says Parsons Company instead of corporation and shit.
Yeah.
Because he thinks, if it's alternative spelling, I can just say this shit. But some of the other shit he's been able to get away with is really fucking annoying. Alright, so the last person we're going to talk about on this list is... This one is the fucking funniest out of all of them. William White CR. And I had no idea what CR stood for besides chromium. So I searched through hundreds of posts and I found out he just stopped copy-pasting William White Crow to William White CR. Right? So then allegedly... Oh, he doesn't. Allegedly he does it. He reshares William... William, quote unquote, has a Facebook page. Personally, this is my theory, it's Andrew's. Everything's spelt the same case, the same structure, so on and so forth. He just adds a few emojis to throw everyone off. But that's a different story. So, Andrew allegedly reshares this post that I'm about to read to you now. I taught Andrew D. Basiago martial arts in 1971 to 72 when he was time traveling for DARPA. 10 years later, I guarded his life on Mars. I can say from personal experience that Andy's time travel and Mars visitation accounts are true. His life story symbolises the secret exploits of the US chrononauts. Like thousands of others who have served our great nation secretly, Andy's service to our nation has been profound. Apparently, he's a retired US Army serviceman. He also posts the exact same conspiracy shit too. Yeah. His bio: I'm into being connected to nature and the earth. No drama here. I'm a spiritual person, but a realist at the same time. Medicine work is my thing. Heal the person, heal the planet. Favourite quotes: live in the now and prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Why would you go as far as, like, I feel like, obviously, if it's all personas, so essentially someone has just created this all up to direct traffic. Maybe.
You're going to find out why.
Is it to do with crypto mining?
You're going to wish it was just that. Just hang on. So, this William also is an avid contributor to Andrew's Project Pegasus page.
Oh, wait, so they're one and the same.
That's what I just said. That was my theory.
I know.
I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying it's a theory. So, one day 3 years ago, William goes, "You go, Andrew," smiley emoji. "I'm always there for you," smiley emoji. "Phone call away," smiley emoji. And then Andrew goes, "William, thank you, Honourable Sensei, Andy." And then William goes, "Just keep up the good work, brother," smiley emoji. "You're the bomb." Incorrect spelling of "your," but it is what it is.
And also
smiley
William,
face emoji.
comma, thank you, uppercase T, thank you, comma.
Exactly. Is that not the same fucking spelling structure?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, I'm not a fucking
Same
forensic, whatever the fuck it is, person who analyses handwriting and shit, even digitally. But I'm telling you.
Smiley faces using the same way, yeah.
Come on, my dude. I'm not stupid. I can rub two sticks together.
This guy can't rub two sticks together.
So let's get back to Andrew. He says that he and the presidents went to Mars regularly for a decade. He says that he time travelled dozens of times. He says that President Obama, who was using the name Sotoro at the time during these jumps, and that all of the program participants had connections to the CIA, and that Obama's mom had connections to the CIA. Officially, the White House said that Obama never went to Mars. And Tommy Vita, who was the spokesman for the National Security Council, said only if you count watching Marvin the Martian. That's the only time the President Obama has been to Mars.
Bullshit.
So when people ask him what President Obama's mission on Mars was, Andrew states that the CIA wished to establish a defense regime protecting the Earth from threats from space, as well as a legal claim to territorial sovereignty. He says that because it was a secret program, they did supposedly sign secrecy documents agreeing not to talk about it, but he's obviously broken this, and if this document existed, I think it's fair to me to theorise that he would not exist. Does that make sense? I'm theorising that if that document existed, and he spoke out about said document and said project, he would cease to exist.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not threatening him. I'm merely saying that I think we can add two and two together, that if you're talking about a covert military project and you're spilling some tea,
You're dead.
They're going to be spilling something that isn't tea.
Yeah, and it's usually, a large portion hemoglobin, small portion brain matter.
Again, I'm not threatening the man. I'm just saying that, come on. That's all I'm going to say. So the next shit I'm going to say was so disjointed and pertinent to the story, so I'm just going to list it one after the other. I hope that that's okay.
That's fine.
It's important, so it flows a bit. So he says that the program is still active, but it's under a different name. He says that he was able to breathe on Mars, that there was no water on the planet, and he recalls being greeted by CIA workers upon his first trip to Mars. So my brain was thinking, so you're telling me that you guys were the first ones there because they needed small kids to teleport, but now you're telling me that large human adults are already there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what's the truth?
They're doing just dodgy shit.
You're not keeping up with your story, matey.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
The holes are appearing.
He also claims that he travelled to Ford's Theatre the night of Lincoln's assassination 5 or 6 times, but that he never saw the assassination directly, but he did hear it once when he was inside the theatre. In the early days, he claims that scientists created Chronovision, a system which he said generates a hologram of past or future events by driving an electromagnetic signal through an octagonal array of bismuth crystals. Now, this is a big point of conjecture because Chronovision was built in the 1950s by a team of scientists led by someone called Pellegrino Maria Ernetti, who was an Italian physicist, and he eventually became a priest and is now known as Father
San Pellegrino!
Ernetti. And he allegedly handed his technology over to the Vatican.
Holy San Pellegrino!
So the chronovisor is a relatively small object that is equipped with a number of antennas and is composed of entirely precious alloys, cathode tubes, some dials and levers. And Father Ernetti suggested that whoever uses this device is able to capture and record specific locations, important events, and to be able to follow history and noteworthy individuals.
I just realised. Did this guy create sparkling San Pellegrino water? He put the bubbles in the water.
In Italy, Pellegrino's as common as Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've got that sorted. So people have postulated that they would want to go back in time to meet Jesus, to meet Moses, to this being the Vatican.
What, so they want to go back, meet Moses
no,
and
they
wave
want
at
to...
him?
No. He's just waving to me with the most...
Let me guess. They went back in time and saw Moses and parted waves.
Let's think about our mothers, right? So your mum is Catholic, mine is Orthodox. You're telling me that your Catholic mother wouldn't jump at the chance to, providing they ensure her safety, to go back in time
Nope.
to witness that shit?
Nope. You know why? Skinny, weak, latte, extra hot, 2 sugars.
All I'm saying is, alright, it's like, what's another different... Wouldn't you want to be in the room when the special effects people were building the original Star Wars trilogy special effects? Wouldn't you want to be in the room to see how they did it?
Hypothetically, but then again...
Yeah, fuck you! Alright, let me get another one. Wouldn't you want to be in the room when people made the television?
Not really, no.
Alright, when they turned the television on for the first time?
Not really, no.
No, you're just carrying on. Wouldn't you want to be in the room when the Lego family made their first Lego and came together and they had their first
You know what that was?
prototype?
They made that brick and they fucking stood on it. Yeah.
Alright, okay. So basically, if you pluck your nails one more time, I swear.
I'll go back in time.
What people have hypothesized is that people from the Vatican, aka priests, fathers, bishops, whatever they're called. What are they called? I don't know. Tell me. Popes?
Popes?
Would
Bishops?
want to go back in time to meet Jesus, to meet Moses,
Bishop
to be able to
Roquefort.
disprove other religions. They would want to witness the crucifixion of Christ because you wouldn't... Why would you want... I don't know, right? But it's not like you can make a change because then your whole religion is based on nothing.
Well, technically, though, by you going back in time, you're adjusting the future anyway.
Yes, but we're talking about idiots right now who don't think that far ahead.
Yeah, literally.
All I'm saying is you can't just tear the fabric of space and time and expect there not to be a rift or a scar left.
As soon as you
it's not the same.
time travel, you've
It's not
already...
the same. Back to the Future taught us this 30,
Yes.
40 years ago. We already know this information. This is not new.
This is old.
Anyway.
This way you don't fuck with time.
So alleged blueprints of this chronovisor are available on the internet. In 94, Father and Eddie said that the Pope Pius, the 12th, forbade them to disclose any details about the device because the machine was very dangerous because it can restrain the freedom of man. So this became a big argument with Andrew, but then he came out and said that the Chronovision later became a different technology called plasma confinement, which they used to get Gettysburg in 1963. So again, unless someone fact checks him, he really started to push Tesla's work and would say that the Tesla papers allowed the scientists to harness something called radiant energy, a universal force which bends space-time and allows for real-time teleportation as well as time travel. That's his quote, not mine.
Bullshit.
So again, back to Andrew. You were asking me, why is he doing this? Where is this going? He wanted to run for president in this election. But he pulled out a couple of years ago because he needed surgery. And he wanted to work on his next book. I would like to point out that he hasn't been updating his Facebook page this whole time. And his minions, are desperate to get an update.
Yeah.
But he also tried to run in 2016 and pulled out of that too. So he's 2016. So I found a thing from 2016... and his poster, and it was disclosing secret advanced technologies. For 70 years, the US government has been concealing advanced technologies because they might be socially, economically, or technically disruptive in nature. These technologies include the teleportation technology developed by DARPA's Project Pegasus. They may also include cancer cures. That's a big fucking jump.
That is a big fucking jump.
Right? The government should begin a program to declassify and deploy this knowledge. The standard of technical disclosure should be what provides the people the best available technology. This will enable the United States to reclaim its mantle as the world's catalyst of applied science. Andrew D. Barciago for president. www.andy2016.com. Let me save you the chance. Andy 2016 doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. Andrew 2020, bitch is gone. If he has his own Facebook page. For, let's see what it is today. Has it been changed since I looked at it last time? No. Andy for America. Andy D. Basiago for president. Andrew D. Basiago, 2024, A Time for Truth. And then he advertises his website, Andy2024net.com. Andy2024.net. When I checked, and I'm checking right now, the server doesn't exist. Then, if you go to that Facebook page, his campaign Facebook page, right, that has 5.6 thousand followers, he created the page, so you can see the group history. He created it on the 10th of June 2012. He changed the... this looks so fucking bad, dude. So, on the 2nd of December 2016, he changed the name to Andy 2020. On the same day, 2nd of December 2016, he brought it forth one election campaign to 2016. Right? And then 2 months later, on the 2nd of February, 2 months later, on the 2nd of February 2017, put it back to 20. So, it started as 2020. Then he moved it to 2016. Then he went to 2020. But he didn't like that he had a gap between his name and the year. So the same day he changed it to Andy 2020, but no space between Andy and 2020. And then a year and 9 months later, on the 13th of October 2018, he changed it to Andy 2024. Then, a year and 2 months later, on the 5th of December 2019, he changed it to the Facebook group of Andrew D. Basiago for president. And then on the 8th of January 2020, he changed it to Andy for America, Andrew D. Basiago for president. But the dickhead put a full stop at the start of that. So it was full stop, Andy for America, Andrew D. Basiago for president. So the same day, he changed it to remove that first full stop.
Oh boy, this is funny.
So up until about 4 weeks ago, someone was like, "Hey, has anyone heard from Andy? Like, his election is coming up. I haven't heard from him. Is he okay?" And someone goes, "Yeah, haven't heard from Andy in a very long time. They keep saying healing from surgery, but that's almost 2 years ago now. Lol." And then someone goes, "So much for president this year, huh?" And then everyone was laughing. And then someone goes, "Yeah, I thought he was running a few years back as well." And then they've reacted with a laugh. "Maybe he's president in a different timeline or dimensions. I don't know, that's a guess." And then someone laughed. And then it goes, "I know, I must have gotten his timelines mixed up. It happens."
Yeah.
And then they laughed. And then someone goes, "I've got a suspicion Andy knew something about the pandemic. He knows much more too. It must weigh on him. He can't share the facts." And I'm like, fucking hell. Get over
Maybe
yourself.
DARPA was sharing some facts.
So I still have several questions. What happened to the kid whose legs got severed?
Well,
Who was
obviously, he doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Michael, who was he? What story did they use to cover it up? Right, what happened to this person? Aren't time travelers' memories supposed to be erased?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who specifically was on Mars? CIA who? Which alien races are they saying then inhabit Mars? Is it the Greys and the Nordic ones that he kept talking about?
Possibly.
If there was no water there, which has since been disproven, how did they get water? How did they eat while they were there?
Mars bars.
How long did they stay there?
How long it took to eat the Mars bars?
And how does travel impact their aging process?
Glucose efficiency by eating Mars bars.
Okay, so he stopped running because of his surgery, and also to work on his book.
You know why he needed surgery, though?
Because he left his legs.
No, because he had too much sugar, which resulted in diabetes from Mars, and therefore that time travel was him actually losing his legs, going back in the past in a different identity.
Okay.
Because of the...
Right on. So anyway, his book that everyone's like he's working on, it was supposed to be out in 2012. He's been working on this book for decades.
Maybe he released it in Mars.
It's still not out. It's going to be called Once Upon a Time in the Time Stream, because I would have read it if it existed. So you know how he's allegedly a lawyer? Normally when you provide a service, people will give you a rating or review on at least one of the many hundreds of review sites that exist. His place doesn't have any. So he's allegedly a lawyer on all the, like, you know how you can find a lawyer, find a whatever, like
Yeah.
you can do here. So if you go on to Just Here Lawyers, he has allegedly 24 years of experience in arbitration, mediation, business law, and civil rights. Again, criminal law, estate planning, family law, foreclosure defense, government and administrative law, and personal injury. He allegedly put his bar number up. I'm not going to say what it is. He took it in 1996. And he's got his association bar number as well. And his address is there for his alleged office. So, you know, at least the space exists. He has a LinkedIn. And it isn't very informative. It doesn't have a picture of himself. You'd think for someone trying to run for the presidency, you'd at least have a picture of a banner saying you are who you say you are. He's got allegedly endorsements for legal and research, civil litigation and litigation by people who look like actual people, but again, I don't know. And so that's that. He's only got 362 connections on LinkedIn. So for a president, that's not much.
No, not at all.
His website hasn't been updated in... Oh, so basically Project Pegasus has a website, right? That website hasn't been updated in nearly a decade. He had merch, right? But if you go to buy the merch, it's no longer available. He had a mug.
Wow.
He also I don't know
Sounds like
if you
he
can.
was mugging people electronically.
We're about to hold on to that thought. I don't know if you still can, because this is really fucking dodgy. But when he is, 10 years ago, if you wanted to be a member of someone, you'd have to send him a check, right? So you could choose to be an annual or a lifetime member to his Project Pegasus website, whatever, uncovering of the movement. Annually, it's 25 American bucks, and you would support Andy's efforts to lobby the US government to disclose its teleportation capability so that it's life advantaging. I know you can't spell either. Technology can be used by humanity to achieve planetary sustainability. Send a personal check, cashier's check, or money order together with your name, postal address, telephone number, and email address to Andrew D. Basiago, Esquire, attorney at law, and then his address. Or for a one-time fee of $100, you could have become a lifetime member, do the exact same thing, and mail the money to the exact same place. So this is where I think, is this how he was planning on funding his campaign?
Possibly.
So he came up with an elaborate story, this is me postulating, with an elaborate story to drive traffic, to drive donations, and then if he runs out of his own office, right, and if it's his office, he doesn't need to answer to a boss. It's his office. It's in his name. So he just answers to his clients, right? But again, his office doesn't have any peer reviews or client reviews.
Shit.
On any legal recommendation or listing website. If you go to his Facebook page, like the alleged Facebook page that he's allegedly posting to on Project Pegasus, and you follow that link, he apparently went to Chatsworth Senior High School, finished in 1979. He went to UCLA, which we already kind of knew. He did a Bachelor of Arts, Advanced Mathematics. He got his Lewis and Clark Law School JD in Environmental Law and Policy in Portland, Oregon in 91. In 94, he went to California Polytechnic State, this is again alleged, to do a Master of City and Regional Planning with distinction. And then, apparently he went to the University of Cambridge to do a Master of Philosophy in Land Economics in 95.
Squash.
So, the only thing the FBI has posted about Pegasus is their investigation into the malware.
Yeah.
I think he tried to cash into Stargate and he needed to reword it.
Yeah.
And this part makes me so sick because I'm not American, so I can't hold a fraction or a candle to the anger that American citizens would have about this. But in September of 2012, he made an affidavit for he wanted to be included in the 9/11 tribunal.
Oh, what a dick.
So I want you to... This document exists, right?
It's legit.
And it goes through, and it's been signed by the Notary Public of Washington, Shari M. Rourke, on the 12th of the 10th, 2015. The thing expired... When? Commission expires 10th of 12th, 2015. I don't know. Hold on. So, does that stamp mean it's expired already? I don't know what that means. But anyway. So, if you go to item 79 of his affidavit, he promotes this document, by the way, in all of his groups and on his website. In light of the fact that my father and I learned of 9/11 while attached to Project Pegasus, it's certain that Mr. Rumsfeld did too. After all, he was the defense attaché for the program, which placed him at a higher level of responsibility than my father. Inevitably, Mr. Rumsfeld would have shown the visual evidence of the future event, as my father and I were shown that day at Aerojet Corporation in Sirocco, New Mexico in 1971, or would have read the future terror attack associated with the term 9/11 In one of the intelligence reports about future events that were being circulated in the leadership echelon of the program and among top intelligence officials, would have heard of 9/11 discussed in casual conversations between project principals. This evidence establishes that 30 years ago, prior to 9/11, and on the day of 9/11, the U.S. Secretary of Defense, Donald H. Rumsfeld, had prior knowledge of 9/11. Dated this 11th day of September 2012, signed by Andrew D. Basiago, U.S. Chronaut, 1968 to 72, 1980 to 84. Signed by the State of Washington County Clerk, subscribed and sworn to before me this 11th day of September 2012.
Wow. This guy almost seems like he's best mates with L. Ron Hubbard.
So I skimmed the rest of the affidavit, and he alleges that he and the other kids were involved in remote viewing. We've covered that before. We've also spoken about Stargate. He also mentioned Stargate. He says that in summer of 1972, he took trips to 2045 to retrieve microfilm summaries of intervening events being prepared by project historians in the future. The Stargate through which he jumped was located in the gymnasium at the Cerritos Cultural Center near Cerritos, New Mexico. And they arrived back in present on the grounds of the microwave tower at the Lobach Overlook site in southwest Colorado.
Wow, see, this is why you shouldn't drink and do Macca's drive-thrus. Wow. This guy is fucking...
Something else.
It's like Clockwork Orange meets Groundhog Day meets Weekend at Bernie's meets Happy Feet. It's all song and dance with some major, treason going on. Wait, and if everyone's listening and just trying to interpret what I just said, then not even I know what I just said. That was just... Why do people do this? Like, you think... Okay, I want to be famous, I want to get known, I want to make money. What can I do to make money? This guy's just making money. He's made up bullshit to be famous and make money. That's it.
Because he thinks he's going to be president.
Wow. Imagine how fucked we would have been had he done that.
So yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that guy's fucking batshit crazy.
Is that not the most disgusting...
Fucking bullshit.
Disrespectful thing?
Absolutely. What do you do? What do you do? I mean, the part where they literally just go, okay, he somehow managed to use an fucking Einstein-Rosen bridge to fucking jump into 2045. Why
that specifically?
Why 2045? I know Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out. But why?
They can't even get that. They can't even get that day right.
2045. What is specific about 2045?
I don't know. What year was America founded?
I don't know this. When was?
Declared independent. 19th April 1975.
Okay, so yeah, he's just all fucking talking shit. Yeah, fucking... So essentially went to the future, popped up in a gymnasium.
Allegedly.
And then allegedly fucking popped back in a microwave tower. Sounds like he spent too much time standing in front of a microwave. Wow. Yeah. Bogus. On all accounts...
It's people like this...
that wreck it for everyone else.
That, there are actual things happening in the world. For example, like we spoke about the remote viewing.
Yeah.
We spoke about the actually declassified projects. And people who actually go through trauma.
Yeah.
And think about the people who had to do remote viewing for 10, 20 years.
Fucking hell.
You know what I mean? And who actually were part of something. And then he just makes a fucking story about it to concoct
his own
shit.
To make money.
Again, this is us.
This is our opinion.
Yes. I'm not saying it's fact, but it's just absolutely...
abhorrent.
The lowest of fucking low you can go.
Yep.
And I'm not saying give us your fucking service records, but give us your fucking service records then.
Yeah. If that's what it's going to come to, fucking do it.
And imagine if my opinion is, imagine having to concoct separate accounts to fake being separate people.
Yeah. But that's what people do. They make all this extra traffic in the hope that it will just spin out and they'll become, people of great, prosperity. That's what it is. So the guy's a charlatan. He tried to create some intergalactic fucking Ponzi scheme and it fucked up. I mean, he was mugging people with one mug. He was selling one mug. Why the fuck would you only sell one mug? At least be, a bit more creative and come up with other stuff. What about t-shirts? I
don't know what to tell you, fam. But if you go to his, his thing, it's very much like bullshit. People, as most recently as the 24th of October, are like, where is he?
And now he's playing the missing persons card to create even more,
Apparently
attention.
he's legally blind.
So he's legally blind.
This is his minions saying this shit.
He's legally...
And people are like, as recent as 2 weeks ago, he must still be working on the book. I hope he has pictures of the time travel devices and schematics.
So
I would love to buy an autograph copy on his website.
So if he did remote viewing and he's legally blind, how does that work?
Well, that's the thing, because it's mind's eye, isn't it?
Oh my god.
But here's the thing. Some of these people are actually sarcastic people like us, except they post it.
Yeah.
Right? And they say that. And it's like...
Wow. Makes for an interesting
apparently this is one of his minions. He collected data scrolls for the government and time travelled to 2045 to retrieve them. His handlers were gathering time data.
Time cops.
I don't know, my dude. I don't know.
Just stupid. Absolute stupidness. So, yeah, overall, complete bogus bullshit. But, definitely there's some shady shit that guy should get done for fraud. That's how I think. What do you reckon?
I get wanting to run for president, but you've got to put other people first, not yourself.
Yeah.
And my sneaking suspicion is, and again, this is just an opinion, and I'm not talking shit about his father, may he rest in peace.
Yeah. This is about him.
He waited for his father to die.
To begin talking shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think people people are so scared of Big Pharma when Big Pharma isn't a fucking thing.
No.
What is a thing is big military. If this shit was... See, here's the thing. I'm not trying to fucking cover these topics and be like, oh, we don't believe in anything, that's why we're talking mad trash. No. It makes sense that with all the other shit that the American and other governments, who knows who else, were researching mind control, remote viewing, astral projection.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they would be like... Because remember, they had so much fucking money that they were like, let's just fund it into everything. It makes sense that people would be curious, and whether it be a government or a research lab, to drive money into researching this shit. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? It costs a fuck ton more money than what they funneled into it. But it makes sense that that's what they'd want to do. But why are people so... I don't know what to say. Stupid.
Very, very bizarre.
Like, no one's gonna fucking think. And then when people... These are the types of situations when you tell people, like, I believe in this conspiracy. People are like, you're fucking crazy. It's like, no, I'm not talking 5G kills. I'm not talking Project Pegasus is real. But...
Something probably, like that is going on.
What was the one we covered last time about where they were getting people's bodies and stealing them, their remains? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some shit does happen. Yeah. It's not a conspiracy, it's fact. Yeah. It's disclosed. But it's shit like this where people take the fucking piss out of it.
And wreck it for everyone else.
That makes the conspiracy thing... Because step one is debunking.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
You do. You get to the bottom of it.
Anything paranormal, you debunk first. And then you're like, oh, okay. My rigorous or our rigorous, not us, but people who are actual experts.
But the bit when you start debunking and it's like fact, and you go, oh, shit. They're the interesting ones. Maybe he's underneath Denver Airport.
I think he wishes he was part of it.
So...
I don't know, my dude.
All weird.
I don't know what to tell you, but that is that. Yep. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Good in the hood?
Good. So,
good in the hood.
Yeah, so maybe I need to go to 1940,
2045.
And, do some time searching. Find him and slap him around the head. So...
Honestly, wouldn't know what to...
do.
Let's see what DJT's the senior. Apparently the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has overruled the... Oh, that was days ago. He's just retweeting that. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know what to tell you. But he's just reposting Fox News stuff, which we know is his mouthpiece because he's best buds with Rupert Murdoch. Yeah. That's a completely different story. But it is what it is. Good luck to everyone brave in the world out there trying to get their PS5s and stuff.
Yeah, good luck. Maybe they're in 2045.
Someone asked me yesterday and they're like, oh, how is it? And I'm like, dude, do you know how big the download is?
Fucking huge. But... it was a lot quicker than usual.
No, of course.
Didn't take
100 meg per second, dude. Do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. And these like the weird people who objectify women gamers, and you're just like, I'm not here for that.
No.
But it is what it is, and then
it is what it is.
Oh my god! I'm like, we should play, and you're like, okay, sure. It's been months.
But let's do it.
And then every few months they're like, oh my god, what's your Snapchat? And it's like, I'm sorry, I have Snapchat for two people in this world. One is once every 4, 5, 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
If there's a funny filter, we'll like spam each other.
Yeah.
Weird shit. But one of my friends, she and I that's how we talk every day.
Yeah.
And we'll send like 1 or 2 things every day.
Yeah.
That's the only person I use Snapchat for.
Yeah.
When people are like, what's your Snapchat? If I know who you are, I'll add you back.
Yeah, but otherwise, no.
Soz, I don't know who you is.
I'm a lemon.
I'm a lemon.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Apparently people are... Oh, shit, that's a... Okay. I don't want to say a Mandalorian spoiler. But people are pissed off for what Baby Yoda did.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
One. Don't be spoilish.
Yeah, it's been happening since season 1. And you know what?
Baby Yoda he or she does dumb shit.
Yeah. It's what we signed up for. So people need to always jump on it. Wreck it for everyone. Fuck off.
It is.
It is what it is. Yeah. So. But no, I think that all in all, that time travel bullshit. Unless I can go back and fix, the Star Wars series. Mm-hmm. That's one thing.
Or let it just happen and just let it go.
Yeah. Let it go. Let it go.
Anything else you wish to add?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Except cybersecurity browser extensions.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we actually have a topic request form. So if there's something you guys would like us to cover, you are more than welcome to fill out that form.
Do it. Shoot us a link.
Do it for your...
Yeah, do it.
Thank you very much
Yes.
in advance, Basiagos.
Hiya.
You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Castro, Google Podcasts, Listen Notes, Luminary, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser, Radio Public. You can subscribe to us via email. We're also on Spotify, Stitcher, Swoot, TuneIn, Overcast. I have to set up the videos to re-upload onto a YouTube video format. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, or you can email us at controllersandcouches@gmail.com. He's FullMetalChicken.
Yes, I am.
I am Stephfafahh. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great, safe day, week, whatever it is, wherever you are. Stay safe, social distance, wear your mask, disinfect.
Watch out for Stargates from 2045.
May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
And also with you.
Yeah, and just remember...
Have a great week. We'll chat to you Thursday.
Grand Moff Tarkin was, really villainous, but Darth Vader obviously beat him because of Force powers. So, there you go. When in doubt, use Force powers. Done.
Good job, buddy.
Yep. And on that note, we'll be back next time for another exciting episode of Voices and Sounds.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Signing off. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.